Come on, YouTube. I clicked the go live button. You can do it. Right? Can YouTube do it? I hope YouTube can do it. Come on, I believe in you, YouTube. Are we live? I hope we're live because I clicked the live button. Looks like it's reusing an old an old thumbnail. That's alright though. I think we can survive that. So, unlike what's on the thumbnail, instead of eating, I don't know, whatever it was that I was eating yesterday, got myself a bunch of Chipotle. Oh my goodness. COVID-19 live stream number 19. Seems appropriate for a COVID-19 live stream number 19. Well, I hope everybody is still doing well. Hope you're able to survive in the current environment, COVID-19. I am absolutely starving. This morning I had an epic killer workout. And I know a lot of folks, even though this is like a competitive eating YouTube channel, some folks ask, you know, how I'm able to stay so fit and everything like that. And I thought it'd be cool to just, you know, dedicate one day to actually talking about just that. And of course, anything else that you guys want to discuss. I'm always open to discussing absolutely anything. But right now, I gotta get into this burrito. Of course, Chipotle burrito can hardly go wrong. I almost never get Chipotle. I don't know why. It's just not something that I go out of my way to get too often. Then again, I don't get too much like fast food and convenient food at all. But whenever I do get Chipotle, it's pretty good. So what do we have on this? Carnitas burrito with brown rice, fajitas, black beans, medium corn, cheese, and lettuce. Man, I should have gotten a knife or something to get a nice cross-section of this. But since I can't, I'm just going to take a big bite and enjoy it. Oh my gosh. That tastes so good. MJC, you say, welcome to the stream. First of all, thanks for coming in. Absolutely regular. Always good to see you hanging out. You say you're a bit tired of lockdown. Yeah, you and me both, man. I'm pretty much over being locked inside. You say Chipotle is overrated? Maybe. I mean, it's still pretty dang good, I gotta say. And it is carbs on carbs on carbs. Ooh, a little bit of spice in there. Maybe that's in the carnitas where you get a little bit of that spice. Whatever it is, it's the perfect thing. Like I said, it's just the absolute perfect thing after a long run or something like that. And this morning, I did hit the track and did a little bit of speed work and just trashed myself. Oh my goodness. I'm so tired after doing that. Come on. There we go. My legs are shot. My throat was tired from like breathing so hard during that track workout this morning. And I'm pretty glad to be able to dig into a bunch of carbs to help me replenish, refuel, all that good stuff. Oh my goodness. So I know that lots of cardio exercise is not a super popular thing for competitive eaters. And I mean, I kind of understand it. You know, if you're eating a ton of calories and you do overeat while doing a lot of cardio exercise, then what tends to happen is your body like preferentially, let's see if I can say that word 10 times fast, stores all those extra calories as fat. So, you know, if you're using a ton of energy, then your body wants to make sure that you've got giant energy stores in the future. But on the other hand, if you're overeating calories and lifting giant weights, then your body preferentially stores it, you know, preferentially uses it to make you bigger and stronger. So I think that's why there's a big crossover between like weightlifting, powerlifting, bodybuilding, that kind of thing, and competitive eating, because it is a lot of like understanding that you're taking in a lot of calories and seeing how you can best use them. But for folks that were not aware, if you're not familiar with this platform called Strava, ooh, look at that. Strava is kind of like this online, it's a little bit of like a social network where athletes can get together, share the kinds of workouts they're doing, see lots of pretty graphs and cool things like that. It's very popular among cyclists and triathletes. Ooh. So if you guys aren't aware of it, it's kind of a cool thing if you do a lot of running, cycling, that kind of thing. And if you do want to get on Strava, or if you do want to follow the kinds of exercises that I do, then, you know, following me on Strava is a pretty good way to do that. I'm not too hard to find, just Steve Hammond in Seattle, Washington. That's me. But let's see, I want to take a look at this workout that I did this morning. Ooh, this is not this week. Let me look at this week. Oh yeah, this morning, look at that. So, with everyone in lockdown and schools, you know, being closed, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, that kind of thing, then all of the tracks are open. So this morning I did a workout. This is a graph of my speed that I did over time. You can see that I started with really short intervals, then progressively went into longer intervals until I did 800, then a 400, 200, 100 down. And of course it's kind of like my speed kind of dips down and goes back up, because in every interval I was doing like best effort, trying to get myself going as fast as possible. Because one of those things that a lot of folks tend to overlook is that you know, running longer doesn't mean just like running the same speed for more time. You have to pace yourself out. And the really challenging thing once you get fit and want to get really competitive in races is to like try to tire yourself out, like just completely leave it out there all on the field, leave yourself completely spent at the end of a shorter race. So being able to like run a marathon and in that feeling really spent, that's not too tough, you know? I mean, 26.2 miles, that's going to destroy just about anyone. But running like a 5K, you know, just 3 miles, and getting to the finish line of that, absolutely spent, hitting the exact speed and the exact effort to like cross that finish line and be completely done, that's a really big challenge. So this morning, like I said, I was practicing those shorter intervals, and I could kind of feel it in my right hamstring. Like that, I think that's, my right hamstring might be hurting quite a bit. Maybe I'm doing a little bit too much running these days. Now that I'm stuck at home, I got a lot more time to, you know, exercise and do basically the kinds of exercises that I want to do. Push myself a little bit harder than I've been able to when I was going into the office every day. And oh my goodness. So yeah, that first 100, I hit it in about 16 seconds, I think, which is just blazing fast for me. With the 800, that was about 250 something, 254, 255, somewhere around there. And at the end of that, I was absolutely spent. Went back down. The second half of that workout was a little bit slower, but, you know, so it goes. So, on top of the burrito, I also got a couple of tacos. I want to try those, because I have never actually had the tacos from Chipotle, believe it or not. And they are completely falling apart. Oh my goodness. These might be the tacos that you like. These were supposed to be crispy corn shell tacos, and they're kind of gummy. I think I waited too long to eat them. With, oh my goodness, now I can't even remember what kind of meat was in them. Yeah, no, I can't remember. Pork, maybe? I don't know. With some tomato and onion salsa on top. Oh my gosh. Got a couple of other folks joining the stream. Great to see everyone. Balchinian says nothing sweet this time. Well, I've got the root beer on the side, so that's pretty sweet. But yeah, I decided to have like actual lunch. Chipotle is a little bit better than some of the stuff that I was having. You say gains. Yeah, full-time gains. Ooh. This is a really unusual shirt for me to be wearing. This is not the kind of thing that I usually wear. But I did get this great shirt from, I don't know if anybody noticed, but I changed the decor. So I've got my Spartan quilt instead of my competitive eating quilt back there. But when I did the Spartan World Championships a couple years ago, I think it was at Spartan World Championships. No, it might have been the Seattle Spartan race. I think it was the local Spartan race. But they had an army like recruiting set up at the race festival with a little like fitness challenge that you could do. And they gave me a t-shirt for making a fool of myself on their little fitness challenge. Because even though I am a super, super fit guy, the first part of that fitness challenge I still remember was to push this like 200-pound sled. And I weigh $150, you know? So trying to push the sled that was heavier than I was just scraping against the ground, couldn't get any traction. So I ended up taking way too long to do that portion. Everyone had a good laugh at me. Laugh at me and my struggling. Ooh, pardon me. Who else we got? Anna, you say you're not getting any younger, be careful. Oh, I've had every single kind of sports-related injury you could possibly imagine. So, yeah, I'm not in any danger. I know what a muscle strain feels like. I know what it feels like to get a stress fracture, pulled tendons, tendonitis, tendinosis, bad knees, all that good stuff. I'm pretty careful. Thanks. Balchini and carne asada? No, I think it was pork, so... Most excellent. AJAT says, are you planning a 4th of July home challenge this year? Absolutely not. I am going to Coney Island. That's where I'm planning to be on 4th of July. I qualified, so I'm hoping to be at Coney Island as long as it's happening this year. If Coney Island does end up getting canceled, then I don't know. We'll see what happens. Probably have to do something. Eric Gunnarsson says, hello, Steve. What's okay today's menu? Are you asking what's on today's menu? That sounds like it's probably right. Yeah, man, I'm eating Chipotle today. I think I forgot to put the correct thumbnail up, so it reused yesterday's thumbnail. So it's probably got me eating something sweet for the thumbnails of this video. But yeah, today it's Chipotle. Eating some good carbs and fats and some meats. This is probably like the sum total amount of meat that I'm going to eat for the entire week. And I do have to say that, like, I used to eat a fairly normal amount of meat. You know, you think like 4 to 6 ounces per day on average. But, like, I found that the less meat that I ate, the quicker I was able to recover from long, like, endurance kind of exercise bouts. So, over the years, yeah, I've just, like, continually ate less and less meat, and until I got to where I'm at today, where I'm eating 1 or 2 servings of meat a week, and I feel great doing that. All plants. Don't have to worry about getting too much protein. I think people overemphasize the amount of protein that you need to eat. I know athletes say that, or they say that athletes need to get a ton of protein. I think that's kind of garbage. Like, as long as you're getting, I don't know, 25, 30 grams, you're probably going to be in okay health. Yeah, I think meat is a decent sometime food, but definitely not a health food. So I'd love to hear from you guys, since Eric Gunnarsson brings it up. What are you guys going to be, like, what do you think is going to happen on July 4th? Hopefully all this stuff is taken care of. I'm super disappointed that the freaking Olympics have been canceled this year. So, and that puts, like, the amount of effort that those athletes put into peaking at this one single event, how they, like, live their entire lives leading up to this, 1 week of athleticism and athletic achievements. And then to have that derailed is super, just not, it's a real bummer that these guys have to put it off. So I hope those guys do survive. I guess on the upside, it gives them an extra year to, like, train and hone their skills. So hopefully it'll all work out. It'll be kind of strange to see what happens next year. We'll see if either, like, no world records are set or a ton of world records are going to be set. MJC, I see your comment. 25 to 30 grams of protein per day? What? Mind-blowing. Yeah, protein is, like, way super emphasized. People blow the importance of it way out of proportion. You really don't need that much protein. If I remember right, the WHO came out with the recommendations that for optimal health for populations, you need to have at least 2 to 5% of your caloric intake coming from protein. And even at the upper end of that, if you're eating 2,000 calories a day, that comes out to 25 grams of protein. So, like, you really don't need nearly as much protein as a lot of folks out there would have you believe. It is a giant racket. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm way more interested in making sure I get my micronutrients all in my daily diet. All my vitamins, minerals, that kind of thing. I think the only time when overeating protein like that is, like, really a really good idea is, one, if you're trying to gain weight, or two, if you're a bodybuilder and you're trying to get down to that, like, essential body fat where you're just so lean that your body has no choice but to metabolize a bunch of protein and stuff like that for energy, then, in that instance, then it kind of makes sense that you want your body to be eating the protein that you're taking in instead of, like, pulling it from your muscles. But, like, I think nobody's going to argue that what bodybuilders do is the most healthy thing in the world. So yeah, don't need to have that much protein. Anna says Macy's are having fireworks, so keep your fingers crossed. Yeah, absolutely. I hope it's all going to work out. Now, yesterday, Major League Eating wrapped up their quarantine challenge with 8 of the top competitive eaters. I hope you guys were tuning into those because they were super exciting. I loved watching those. I thought it was a lot of fun. So it was really cool to see everybody compete yesterday. I think not a super big surprise that Joey Chestnut came out on top. Oops, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it already. But now what I was really surprised about was that Nick Weary, who I know is a great eater, but I did not think that he was going to out-eat Darren Breeden with ramen. Of all the foods, I figured Darren Breeden had that on lockdown, but no. I mean, Nick came out of the gate swinging, took out Darren Breeden yesterday to get that bronze medal, third place achievement. So excellent job to Nick Weary. I think, like, he came into this competition. I did not have a ton of faith that he would make it all the way, but man, I'm blown away by how excellent that guy did. Like, he's a super intense guy. You know, like when he shows up at a like I've been doing a little bit of research on the guy, and when he shows up at a competition, like he shows up there to throw down. And I know Darren Breeden is a super laid back guy. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times in real life. You know, talking with him before a couple of contests. He completely wiped the floor with me twice so far, so that's always great. But he's like, if you see Darren Breeden in some of his videos, like the way that he comes off in his videos is exactly how he is in real life. Just like this really laid back guy who's there just to have fun and make jokes and crack wise and stuff like that. But the matchup, I think Gideon Oji, another excellent eater, he did way better than I expected he would in the entire competition. But he wasn't able to keep up with Joey Chestnut, and really just didn't do a super great performance at all yesterday. So I have no idea how long it would take me to eat, 10 cup of noodles, something like that. But I think a lot of people expected Gideon Oji to do a little bit better. Now, I did not actually put any money on this entire thing because, I gotta say, without knowing the rules, it was really tough to tell how everything was going to shake out. You know, if I knew exactly what the rules were, for example, in the was it the first bracket round it was the first bracket round. I remember because with the cookies and milk, and I remember it was the first bracket round because I remember Michelle Lesko. Still, my favorite performance of the entire competition was Michelle, Cardboard Shell, with those cookies and milk, just making a giant mess. Oh my gosh. Anyway, without knowing the rules, like the fact that they weren't able to dunk the cookies, it would have been difficult to like predict the kinds of times those guys were going to make. MJC, you say, yeah, Joey did great. 100%. I think with the first two competitions, Joey was off form, and then he realized that he needed to like buckle down. So in those last two, he came back, and we saw like the Joey Chestnut that was there, that rules them all, you know. And you say, yeah, Darren looks cool. Yeah, he is a pretty cool guy. Every time I see him, I like saying hi and catching up with him. Milk and cookies bath, lol. Yeah, that's about what it was. It was absolutely hilarious. What do you guys think? Should I do a Badlands Booker style chug? Cheap store brand root beer? Ooh, pardon me. I don't know, I've always wondered about belching on this channel. Like, I always kind of cover my mouth and apologize about it. Try not to belch too much. But on some like ASMR channels, like they'll get up like right into the microphone and just rah. And I personally think it's kind of a little bit gross, but you guys are gonna have to let me know. Is that something that you guys find really absurd, kind of gross, like something that you're averse to, or is it something that you guys think is funny that you'd rather I do, like really lean into it? Oh my gosh. I got this giant thing of chips and I haven't been eating them at all. These are actually really great. Excellent Chipotle chips. Got way more crunch than just the chips that you usually get at like a grocery store. I really like that. MJC, you say it's because I'm classy. Oh yeah, bringing some class to the competitive eating game, baby. Woo! Well, I only had one of these kind of falling apart tacos. Oh my gosh. This is going to be something that I'm going to have to eat with like fork and knife. Just spilling all over the place. This is terrible. I gotta remember that next time I get crispy tacos from these guys, not to let them sit. Let's see, who else we got in the comments? Gabriel says, "Hi Steve, I'm having a menudo. I have no idea how to pronounce that. You say it's a Mexican dish. I'm gonna have to look up what that is because I don't even know, man. I hope it's delicious. I love tons of Mexican dishes. I think sopapillas are one of my favorite desserts. Yeah, Mexican food is delicious, and I'm a little bit bummed that we don't have better Mexican food up in Seattle, but we make up for it for having pretty good East Asian food." Eric Gunnarsson says, "Speaking about cookies, which Oreo is your favorite?" Cinnamon bun Oreos, man. Still my favorite. I get that question every now and then, and yeah, it's always going to be cinnamon bun Oreos. I think they're so dang good. I'm bummed that I don't get to see them more frequently, but the peanut butter pie Oreos are also pretty good. I like the peanut butter pie Oreos better than the regular peanut butter Oreos because I really like the kind of graham cracker cookie that they have instead of the chocolate cookie that the peanut butter Oreos have. Zepier says, "Okay, time to get out the 4 Edwards frozen pies and go to town." No, I think I'm off sugar, off of the high glycemic sugar, says the guy drinking like a liter of regular soda right now. MJC says, "Yeah, they look juicy, lol." Yeah, I think I just let this sit for too long after I got it delivered. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for today's lunch. As per usual, thank you guys for coming to the live stream. It's always awesome to hear from you guys. I love fielding these questions. If you want to, you can follow me on Strava. I don't have a link in the description. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description when I update the thumbnail for this live stream. But it's a good way to like get a better idea of the kinds of workouts that I do to stay fit. I don't put my like weight training and stuff in there, but I do put all of my cardio exercise in there. Yeah, like super high intensity cardio exercise a couple of times a week. Try to do that too often, you'll end up killing yourself. But until tomorrow, I hope you guys are staying safe, staying happy, and remember, stay hungry, give yourselves a treat. Until next time, you guys take it easy.